Hello and welcome to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey. My name's Neil, and today we're here to talk about the Calgary Flames. I don't know if you can see it there. Yeah, you can see it. The Calgary Flames. And unfortunately, I don't have a Calgary Flames hat. I just have this sticker and this lanyard that my father got me when he was in the Calgary airport. So how's Calgary going to end their season? Let's look at their record, shall we? At home, they're 14-3-0, and away, they're 13-11-3, and they're currently on a 3-game winning streak. They've got 143 goals for and 153 goals against, so they're a -10, which is not good. They've got 54 games played and 28 games to go. So these next 28 games are very important for the Calgary Flames, so it's a good thing that they've won 3 in a row, because they're probably going to have to win another 3 in a row to really continue the push towards the playoffs. So speaking of playoffs, let's look at their schedule leading up to them. So I've assigned one of 3 categories to each team so that they play for the rest of the season. I can add up the numbers and then create a percentage. So there's 3 different categories. There's winnable, on the fence games, and losable. So when I do the math and I do everything, that gives me 6 winnable games, 14 on the fence games that could really go either way, and then 8 losable games. When we transition that to a percentage, that's a 21.4% winnable chance, a 50% on the fence chance, and a 28.6 losable chance. So that's a pretty big losable chance as far as other teams, or compared to other teams. But you know, like most, they have a lot of games on the fence that could really go either way, and that will be the storyteller of the Calgary Flames. If they can win most of those on the fence games, they'll probably be fine and do well, and probably place pretty high in their division. And that's kind of a bold thing to say, because currently I think they're outside the playoffs looking in, and it's going to be a challenge for the Calgary Flames, but I honestly believe that they will make the playoffs. I predicted this in my playoff prediction video. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. And that was a while ago. So I mean, things have changed since then, and Calgary isn't any worse off than they were back then. But there's some questions about the team, and maybe specifically the goaltending. They brought in Brian Elliot in the offseason, and he was supposed to be the number one, the starter, and the future of the franchise. And unfortunately, he hasn't really been up until late. He had a really tough start to the season, and Chad Johnson came in and played very well for a short stretch of games that they had. Chad Johnson was incredible. And, Calgary wouldn't be as high as they are without Chad Johnson. So lots of kudos go to him. But Brian Elliott has come in recently, and he's played really, really well. And I think he might have played the last 3 games when they've won all 3. And I watched Calgary play, I think it was, I can't remember who it was, Minnesota, I think, a couple days ago. And they beat Minnesota, and they looked really good. And the game was in Calgary, and just listening to those fans in that rink, if you're a hockey fan, you know that certain rinks have fans that just go absolutely crazy, and it's just electric. And Calgary has one of those buildings. I remember a couple years ago, they played, I think, Vancouver in the playoffs, and the home games in Calgary were amazing. Such exciting hockey to watch, because the arena and the fans were so loud. It was so electric. And that's why brings me to my prediction for the Calgary Flames. I think the Calgary Flames are going to, number 1, make the playoffs, and number 2, go past the first round and potentially get past the second round. I think that they could get to the conference finals, and that is a very bold prediction. I'm sure lots of people are at home shaking their head at me, and that's totally fine. I can take the heat. But that's my prediction. I think that they're going to do very well. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people, and they're my dark horse in the West. I hope that they do well. But even with all that said, I don't think the Calgary Flames will win the cup. So my prediction is that they'll do well in the playoffs, but they will not win the Stanley Cup. So that wraps up my video of the Calgary Flames. I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun making it. If this is your first time watching a video on Post to Post, welcome to the family. Why don't you hit that subscribe button down below? Maybe throw a like on here too. And if you didn't like it, tell me why in the comments below. What can I do to improve to earn your subscription? And if you want to hit me up on Facebook, I'm at Post to Post Show there. Or on Twitter, I'm at Post to Post Show there. Otherwise, leave a comment below. Leave any concerns, any predictions of your own, any hockey-related news, anything you want to talk about. Just hit me up in the comments below, and I'll be sure to reply, and we can have a little conversation. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.